A man just happened to witness a car accident, but unexpectedly discovered a huge business opportunity. He noticed that every time an accident occurred, there would always be a group of people swarming the scene like zombies. They rushed over in a flash, scrambling to film every angle of the scene, afraid of missing any single detail. They even pressed their cameras right up to the victims' faces. Seeing how crazy these people were, the man immediately grew curious. After they finished filming, Lewis approached one of the men to strike up a conversation, hoping to find out why they were doing this. It turned out that this group made money by selling the news footage they shot to TV stations in exchange for a certain commission. But when it came to how much money a single piece of news footage could fetch, the man's answer was rather vague. It seemed he didn't want an outsider to know, but Lewis could tell from the expensive equipment loaded in the man's car that this must be an extremely lucrative job. Realizing this, Lewis promptly asked to join their group, but the man turned him down without a second thought.
Fuck no.
Lewis tried to keep pitching himself, but just then another new accident report came over the radio. Upon hearing it, the man quickly called his partners to get in the car, then stepped on the gas and raced toward the location. Being rejected didn't discourage Lewis at all. Instead, he felt a surge of excitement in his heart, because at this point in his life, he was just an unemployed man who made a living by petty theft. Usually he stole things like iron fences and manhole covers to sell for money, and what frustrated him to no end was that, every time he went to sell these stolen goods, the owner of the scrapyard would ruthlessly lowball him. It was obvious the guy had already seen through his identity. This meant that every time Lewis risked getting caught to steal things, he barely made any money from them. Finally, he made up his mind to find a legitimate job, but the worsening job market coupled with his lack of work experience meant that no one was willing to hire him. In the end, he even offered to work for free as an intern at the scrapyard, but to his surprise, the boss looked down on him completely.
I'm not hiring a fucking thief.
At that moment, Lewis's mood plummeted to rock bottom. He felt like his future was shrouded in total darkness, yet just when he thought he would remain adrift like this forever, the scene from the car accident earlier gave him a glimmer of hope once again. After returning home, Lewis waited in front of the TV bright and early, flipping through every single news channel. It didn't take long for him to find the news report from the previous night. At that moment, a spark of ambition ignited in Lewis's heart. Later, he went to a park and set his sights on an expensive-looking bicycle. Once the owner left, he sold the bike on the spot for $800. With that money, he bought a camera and a police scanner. Since no one was willing to take him under their wing, he decided to go it alone. That very night, he parked his car by the side of the road, listening repeatedly to the various messages coming through the scanner. But it didn't take long for him to realize that he had seriously underestimated the difficulty of this job. Just the various police codes used to communicate between officers left him completely confused, let alone filtering out any useful information from them. After studying the codes for hours on end, he finally managed to make out that a fight had broken out 5 kilometers away. Lewis immediately drove over in excitement, but by the time he arrived at the scene, the police were already there, and none of the fellow news stringers who were supposed to be there showed up. Lewis didn't overthink it, and immediately started filming, but he was quickly chased away by the police. Helpless, he moved on to the next incident location.